Let me ask you something. You've been told your whole life by financial advisors, personal finance gurus, your parents, that you need 6 months of expenses saved up before you do anything else with your money. 6 months. It's practically gospel in the personal finance world. But what if that advice is quietly costing you thousands of dollars? What if the safe thing everyone tells you to do is actually keeping you broke? Or at least keeping you from building real wealth? I'm not here to burn down the idea of an emergency fund. Emergency funds are essential, but the 6-month rule? That's a one-size-fits-all answer to a question that is deeply personal, and for a lot of Americans, it's flat out wrong. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much you actually need and what to do with the rest. The 6-month rule gained mainstream traction in the 1990s and early 2000s. Back then, the average job search took longer, savings accounts paid actual interest, we're talking 4, 5, even 6%, and fewer Americans had access to credit lines, investment accounts, or gig income as a fallback. The world has changed dramatically. Today, the average time to find a new job in the US is roughly 5 weeks for most professionals, not 6 months. High-yield savings accounts, while better than your basic checking account, still often lose ground to inflation over time. And most Americans now have access to tools our parents never did. Roth IRAs with penalty-free withdrawal options, low-interest HELOCs, brokerage accounts, and yes, even a credit card with a 0% intro APR as a short-term bridge. So who invented the rigid 6-month rule? Honestly, it was a marketing-friendly number. Easy to remember, easy to sell. But personal finance isn't supposed to be a bumper sticker. It's supposed to be personal. Here's where it gets painful, and I want you to feel this because the numbers are real. Let's say your monthly expenses are $4,000. 6 months of expenses equals $24,000 sitting in a savings account, earning maybe 4.5% in a high-yield account right now. That sounds decent until you realize the S&P 500 has averaged roughly 10% annually over the last 50 years. That $24,000, if invested instead, could generate a meaningful difference over a decade. The opportunity cost of hoarding too much cash isn't hypothetical. It's money you're leaving on the table every single year. Now multiply that by the millions of Americans sitting on $30,000, $40,000 in emergency funds because some podcast told them to. That's not financial security. That's financial paralysis dressed up as responsibility. Here's the framework nobody's giving you, because it actually requires thinking about your life. Ask yourself 4 questions. 1. How stable is your income? If you're a salaried W-2 employee at a Fortune 500 company, your income risk is low. 3 months is likely sufficient. If you're self-employed, a freelancer, or work in a volatile industry like real estate or tech startups, you might genuinely need closer to 9 to 12 months. The 6-month rule was never designed for a single-income household with variable pay. 2. What's your actual bare minimum number? Most people confuse monthly expenses with monthly lifestyle. Your emergency fund should cover needs, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance, minimum debt payments, not your gym membership, streaming services, or dining out. For most Americans, the bare minimum number is significantly lower than what they think. 3. What safety nets do you have? Do you have a partner with stable income? Parents you could temporarily stay with? A Roth IRA you've been contributing to for years? A HELOC on your home? These are all layers of the safety net that reduce how much pure cash you need sitting idle. 4. How's your job market? A specialized surgeon and a general marketing manager do not have the same reemployment timeline. Know your field. Run those answers through your own situation, and you'll arrive at a number that's actually calibrated to your risk, not some blanket rule invented before the iPhone existed. Here's what I recommend, and what an increasing number of fee-only financial planners are actually telling clients privately. Build a tiered emergency system. Tier 1, liquid cash, 1 to 2 months of bare minimum expenses. This lives in a high-yield savings account. It's your first line of defense for a car repair, a medical bill, a sudden job loss. Fast access, no penalties. Tier 2, near liquid investments, 1 to 3 months of expenses. This is money in a taxable brokerage account invested conservatively. Think short-term bond ETFs or a balanced fund. It's not instant, but you can access it within a few business days without penalty. it grows, keeps pace with inflation. Tier 3 Roth IRA contributions. This is the secret weapon most people overlook. You can withdraw your contributions, not gains, from a Roth IRA at any time, penalty-free and tax-free. That money can double as both retirement savings and a deep emergency backstop. Together, these three tiers give you the security of a 6-month fund with the growth potential of an investor, because that's exactly what it is. Look, the 6-month rule isn't evil. For some people, in some situations, it's exactly right. But blindly following it without running the numbers for your life is lazy financial planning. Know your income stability. Know your real bare minimum expenses. Know your safety nets. Then build a tiered system that actually works for you, and put every dollar above that to work. If this video made you rethink your emergency fund strategy, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach people who need to hear this. And drop in the comments, how many months do you currently have saved? I read every single one. See you in the next one.